Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tori and today I am doing a collaboration video with Heba from My Little Journal showing off the new semi-alpha stamp sets that she has released in her shop. I have both the uppercase and lowercase versions of this stamp set, and I'm very excited to show you the ideas that I had to use these stamps in a little bit of a different way than you would normally use your alpha stamp. For my project today, I am going to be documenting the hyacinth blooms that I recently got from a plant that I purchased from a store. And I just wanted to get that documented because I loved those blooms so much. So I have a set of 3 photos up at the top of my video here, and I am only going to be using the 2 on the right because the pink is a little bit different in both photos, and I wanted to use the matching 2 photos. I am just putting all of this together on a plain piece of cardstock. This is a 65-pound piece of cardstock that I just cut down to 2 pieces of just plain white paper in a 4 1/4 by 8 1/4 dimension. I am pulling out the L from the lowercase semi-alphabet stamp. When I got this stamp in the mail, I was immediately so inspired to use some of these alphabets as just like various shapes to create patterns. Some of them are really like versatile in the way that they are drawn or kind of put together. So I am pulling the L out and kind of using this as like a dashed line that I will repeat stamp across a large portion of my 2 pieces of paper that I have here. I'm going to spread this particular pattern all across the top. It's going to go a little bit down further on the left-hand side of the page and then go a little bit less, kind of more higher on the right-hand side. So it will be a more diagonal shape. And then I'm also going to carry this same repeat pattern to the bottom right-hand page corner. I'm going to carry that down there as well, just to kind of frame my photos. I'll be placing my photos on the right-hand side of the page and my journaling and title on the left-hand side of the page. So a large portion of this particular process, which I think I've already said, is just going to be me doing a whole lot of repeat stamping. But I really loved the idea of only using pictures and stamps, an alpha stamp no less, to kind of get this whole thing set up and kind of see how creative I could be with it. I could have absolutely stamped out some other designs and cut them out and made them stickers and like 3D type embellishments. But I really wanted to do this whole spread with just these 2 alphabet stamps and kind of see how that worked out. And if I do say so myself, I think it came out pretty fantastic. It's very simple, but there's a lot going on at the same time. And since I am using this mink color from Close to My Heart to do all of the background stamping, even though there's just a lot of this stamp, it's not so overwhelming and in your face. I truly love the way that this one came out. And while I get this portion of the stamp finished, I'm just going to play a little bit of music so that we can get through the rest of this background stamping piece. I am almost finished with my L stamp, and then I'm going to just kind of stamp that off and grab the A as well. So I felt like the bottom left-hand portion of my spread was a little bit bare. So what I ended up doing was stamping the A horizontally in a line. And I'm going to stamp it all the way across and kind of butt it up right next to my background pattern. And then I'm going to flip it over and stamp it off-centered with the other A's the other way. So it kind of creates a pattern of its own. This A stamp really kind of looks like a doily or like a fringe, or not fringe, but like a kind of like a border of sorts. I don't know what word I'm trying to think of, but doily is the shape that comes to my mind, but you can see it on the screen. It definitely doesn't look like these are letter stamps to me, and I love that. So I'm finally finished getting all of my background stamping done. I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz Ionic Mini Photo Trimmer. And I'm going to get my 2 photos trimmed out, and I will dry lay those down onto my layout and kind of see how I want them to go. I had a lot of white space in one of my photos, which was intentional. So I just kind of needed to figure out how I really wanted to have those laid out. So I end up placing that photo on the bottom, but I'm going to switch that around in a little bit, I believe after I stamp out my title. Or right now. For my title, I'm going to use the archival black ink from Close to My Heart, and I am just going to stamp out the word hyacinth. Just that word with no S or anything like that on the end was it was 8 letters. So I put 4 letters on the top row and then 4 letters on the bottom row, and it worked out really well. And since it was even letters for both rows, I just stamped the 2 center letters of each portion of that word to kind of get it as centered as possible, but still not make it look like I was trying too hard. I think it came out pretty good where it was, and I spelled the word right this time, so fantastic. For my journaling, I did print that out on clear sticker paper from Online Labels. That is something that I always have linked in the description box if you're interested in checking that out. And I just kind of talked about how I purchased the flowers, and I'm hoping that I can keep this plant alive until next year and see blooms again. That's my hope. So these blooms have already died, and the plant is going to be going into hibernation or whatever it's called. I'm not an expert on this particular flower yet, but I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and get my journaling attached, adhered down. I'm actually going to use my little Cricut scraper tool to really kind of push this clear sticker paper into my page so that it's a little bit less noticeable. And then I will go on to getting my photos adhered down. Since I'm going to overlap these, I'm going to put just a little bit of tape on the top left-hand corner of one of my photos. That way I can place it exactly how I want it to be before I put my tape to adhere everything down. Once that's down, I'm going to pull out just a 0.38 Muji gel pen, and I'm going to add just a little line around each of the photos to bring a little bit of extra character to them. And then I will pull out some of the stars and hearts from both of the stamp sets. So the stars came from the uppercase stamp set, and the little hearts that I'm going to use are coming from the lowercase stamp set. Thinking back or looking back, if I had a color that matched how I had edited these photos, that pinkish color, I would probably color in my title and maybe color in my starbursts, but I don't have a color that matches, so I just left those as is. But that's it. That is all I have for this spread. I will link this stamp set and Heba's collaboration video below for you to check out. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!